I was super excited when Uncle Jake arrived, but I was also nervous. I know I knew he expected me to be doing awesome in everything. After all, I have continued to live the Warrior Kid code that I wrote after he taught me how to be a Warrior Kid. It says, number one, the Warrior Kid wakes up early in the morning. Number two, the Warrior Kid studies to learn and gain knowledge and ask questions if he doesn't understand. Number three, the Warrior Kid trains hard, exercises, and eats right to be strong and fast and healthy. Number four, the Warrior Kid trains to know how to fight so he can stand up to bullies to protect the weak. Number five, the Warrior Kid treats people with respect and helps out other people whenever possible. 6. The Warrior Kid keeps things neat and is always prepared and ready for action. 7. The Warrior Kid stays humble and stays calm. Warrior Kids do not lose their tempers. 8. The Warrior Kid works hard, saves money, is frugal, and doesn't waste time. The Warrior Kid always does his best. 9. I am the Warrior Kid. I am a leader. When Uncle Jake finally arrived in a taxi from the airport, it was awesome to see him. He looked even stronger than ever. Knowledge from reading, strength from pull-ups, burpees, and swimming, fitness from a healthy diet, power from squats and running, bravery from service, problem solving from jiu-jitsu. As soon as I saw him, I shook his hand and offered to take his bag up to my room, where he would be staying again. That's all right, Mark. I can handle it. You look like you are even bigger and stronger than before, I said to Uncle Jake. Yeah, I've been working hard, really hard, and eating healthy, so I have been able to get in pretty good shape. But I still have a lot of work to do, Uncle Jake said. Then he asked, what about you? How you been doing? Great. I am staying on the path and living the Warrior Kid code. I studied hard in school all year long and got A's on my report card. I still exercise almost every day. I eat healthy and barely ever eat junk food. So it's going pretty good. Of course, like you said, I have a lot of work to do, too, I said with a smile, knowing that Uncle Jake would like my humility. One of my best qualities is humility. Well, what about jiu-jitsu, Uncle Jack asked. Yes, sir. I am still training hard all the time, and there is a big tournament at the end of the summer that I am going to compete in again this year. Sounds like everything is going great, Mark. It is, I told him. Then Uncle Jake got that serious look on his face he gets when he wants to teach me something important. Okay, but you said you still had work to do. But what is it? If everything is going so great, what thing do you need help in? Of course, I didn't want to tell him of the whole situation with Danny Reinhardt, but I thought I could bring it up a little by talking about the 1 mile run. So I told him, running. Running? Uncle Jake responded, surprised. What is wrong with your running? Well, I told him. On field day, at the end of the school year, we run a 1 mile race. Last year I came in second to Iris Gardner. She runs cross-country races all the time and is really good. But this year she couldn't run because she hurt her ankle, so I figured I would win. Mark, if you don't stop using me as an excuse, I'm going to race you with a cast on. And Uncle Jake asked, and I didn't. There is this new kid in school named Danny Reinhardt, and he beat me. I was winning for a while, but then he pulled alongside me, and I just couldn't keep up. I felt like I was going to die. Danny Reinhardt, huh? Yeah. I'm sorry, Uncle Jake. No reason to be sorry. Let's see what we can learn from it. What was your time? My time? Yes. How long did it take you to run the mile? Uncle Jake asked. I'm not sure. You don't time the race? He asked, puzzled. No. Have you ever timed how fast you can run a mile? No, Uncle Jake, I said. We just run against each other. If you win, you win. If you don't, you don't. Well, if you're going to get you better at running, we need to figure out how fast you're actually run. Okay, but I wasn't sure that I should say what I was about to say, so I stopped myself. But Uncle Jake knew better. But what? He asked. Well, I was still unsure if I should say it. Well, what? Uncle Jake asked. Now I knew I had to tell him. Well, it's just that I don't really like running that much. On a scale of 1 to 10, my running skills are around minus 100. Uncle Jake was quiet for a moment. Then he looked at me and said, I could have guessed that. Why? I asked. Because you aren't comfortable when you run. It isn't easy. You have to push hard when you run, and that hurts. It hurts to be uncomfortable, and you don't like it. That's why you should do more of it. Wait! I tell you I don't like running, and you tell me I should do more of it? Exactly. If there is something that you don't like doing, something that makes you uncomfortable, you should do more of it. It will make you better. It will also make you more comfortable at being uncomfortable. So, let's go for a ride. That's when Uncle Jake walked over and grabbed my mom's car keys. I followed him, and we walked outside and got in the car. He started up the car, and we headed out of the driveway. When we got to the end, he reset the odometer to 0 and started driving. He drove down 3 blocks from my house and then turned left on the road that borders the park. That part of the road went uphill a bit, and at the top of the hill there was a little wall about waist high at the gate outside the entry of the park, to the park. Perfect, Uncle Jake said. What's perfect? I asked. From the driveway in front of your house to that little wall right there, that's a half a mile. Slap the corner of that little wall with your hand and then hoof it back to your driveway. That's a mile. Got it? Got it, I told Uncle Jake. We drove back to the house and parked in the driveway. Get your running shoes. We are about to get you uncomfortable. I went into the house and put on my running shoes. When I got back, Uncle Jake was waiting with his shoes on. Ready? Uncle Jake asked. I guess so, I told him. Being ready isn't a guessing game. Are you ready? That made sense. I was as ready as I would ever be. Yes, Uncle Jake, I'm ready. Okay then, he said, pressing buttons on his watch. When I say bust 'em, we go. Got it? Got it, Uncle Jake. Stand by. Bust 'em, Uncle Jake barked. I took off running. I thought that Uncle Jake was going to take off ahead of me, but he didn't. He stayed right next to me. Pick up your pace, he said. I run faster. We made it to the first block. I was running pretty fast. Go harder, Uncle Jake told me. Step it up. He was breathing hard, but not as hard as I was. I'm trying, I managed to say something between my breath. Try harder, he replied sternly. By the time we got to the third block, I was really hurting. Push through it, Mark. You have to push through it, Uncle Jake told me. You have to push through the pain. I am, I whispered through gasping breaths. No, you aren't. And with that, Uncle Jake took off ahead of me. He sprinted along the left corner, around the left corner, and took off up the hill. When he got to the top, he slapped the corner of the wall and sprinted back down past me on the way back home. He didn't say anything as he went past me. He just ran. I kept going up the hill, slapped the corner of the wall, and then made my way back home. With Uncle Jake out of my ear, I slowed down a little bit. Finally, I got within sight of my driveway. Uncle Jake started yelling at me. Finish strong, with everything you've got. I ran a little faster and made it to my house. 7:09, Uncle Jake said. What? Ask him. 7 minutes and 9 seconds. That was your time. Oh, okay. Uncle Jake let me catch my breath a bit. Then he said, not okay. You don't know how to really push yourself yet. I pushed myself, I protested. I was wondering how he could say that when I was standing there breathing so hard. Yes, you pushed yourself, but you didn't really push yourself. It's okay. You'll learn, Mark. You'll learn. With that, Uncle Jake walked back towards the house, and I stood there in the driveway, wondering what it was I had learned.